Hey guys, Guru Mike Pan of Binding Warrior Martial Arts. I want to make this really quick video talking about a topic that I kind of spoke about on my Instagram channel and throughout my social media channels a few weeks ago, and that is of this overemphasis of hip-hop dancing in Filipino organizations, specifically Filipino collegiate organizations. Now, if you follow my Instagram from a few weeks ago, you'll notice that I made a pie chart. It was meant to be humorous, but it was a pie chart showing how hip-hop dancing drastically overshadows that of Filipino cultural art forms in most Filipino collegiate organizations. Now, of course, I got a lot of response from this. I expected it to be majority negative, but actually I got a lot of positive feedback, and I was really surprised about that. I'm very pleased with that too. In fact, two of the members of one of these organizations actually came out to train with us this past month, since it's Filipino American History Month, which I thought was really great of them to do. And so in this video, I want to talk about this topic as well as why it's important that we kind of keep ourselves in check when it comes to looking at other non-Filipino art forms in these Filipino organizations as kind of the centerpiece, right? So just want to get one thing out of the way. I just want to make it clear that I am not against hip-hop dancing. I'm not against hip-hop dancers. Many of my friends are still involved in the hip-hop community. I have a very dear friend of mine. He's an older brother to me, Darby. Shout out to you. Excellent break dancer, veteran b-boy, hip-hop head, also one of the best fighters I've ever seen. So I have a lot of guys who have their foot in both communities, both the hip-hop community, the dance community, as well as the martial arts community. So this is not against hip-hop in any way, shape, or form. But what I am saying is that if you are claiming to be a Filipino cultural organization, the Filipino culture should not be the underlying theme of your organization. It should be, at least in my humble opinion, it should be at the forefront. It shouldn't be in the background, something that's kind of relegated to once a week or something like that. It should be really in the foreground. When I do a Google search, any of my peers have told me this too, whenever they do a Google search of any of these organizations in this country, they will always see the hip-hop dance crew first. They'll always see them first, or they'll see the vast majority of their videos on YouTube are that. And I can't help but think, as a father, especially to a young American-born Filipino, he's turning 2 next month. Where's our community going to be? Where are our cultural art forms going to be in the next decade or two, right? And I think it's important for us to keep that in check. Again, there's nothing wrong with hip-hop dancing, but the purpose of a Filipino cultural organization is to promote and push the Filipino community, the Filipino culture to the forefront, because there's enough noise in this country where we're kind of drowned out. If you are a young Filipino American who's seeing, movies such as like Crazy Rich Asians, and you're seeing the new Blue's Clues guy who's Filipino American, from Jersey, by the way, like me, there's a lot of advancement in the way we're being represented, but at the same time, we're not looking at ourselves and the things that our ancestors did as being valuable. And I know it might sound kind of over traditional, but I think there's something good to be gained from studying from our ancestors and their art forms. I know that when I study Filipino martial arts, there's a great deal of inner strength I derive from that. There's a great deal of inner peace I derive from that, knowing where my blood comes from, understanding the importance of my roots and what my family, especially my parents, had to sacrifice to come to this country. I learn more about my Filipino history, so therefore I learn more about myself. And it gives me a great deal of power, right? So inner power. So I think it's really important that, yes, it's okay to do your hip-hop dancing, but again, let's flip that. Instead of making it at the background, let's make it at the forefront. Let's make sure that when people look up your name on Google, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, that they see that Filipino culture is at the forefront. That's not just an underlying theme or some background noise, but it's in the forefront. And again, it's because we as Filipino Americans need to preserve and promote our culture, because no one else will.